Imagine yourself standing in a spaceship on a journey to find life on Mars. You're trying to make friends with Matt Damon in The Martian, and guess what? Both of you are stuck together on Mars. That would definitely be an adventure. Now, let me take you to another part of the world where you are in a submersible, 12,000 feet deep, on a journey to find marine species in the deep sea. Let me ask you a question. If you were to choose between these two journeys, which one would you go? I'm only asking this because I would like to know. Where would you rather be? Here or here? Ladies and gentlemen, last semester I began to volunteer at a research program by the Institute of Ocean and Earth Science. So this experience has opened my eyes, changed my perspective on ocean research, because it showed me there is so much more knowledge about the ocean that we don't know. It made me wonder, why are humans so eager to put people in space and on the moon? Meanwhile, there are only 3 people in history that have been to the deepest part of the ocean, the Challenger Deep. You might be wondering how many people have been to the moon actually. So the answer to that is 500 people. That's funny to me because it's easier to put people in space than to send them down to the bottom of the ocean. I would like to inspire people through public engagement in deep sea research to help us understand more about the ocean. I'll begin by telling you why we need to explore it. Ladies and gentlemen, we only know about 5% of the ocean, yet we have detailed images of the moon and Mars. So the 95% of the ocean that remains unexplored is out there waiting for us. So why are we starving ourselves from learning about them? In 2013, NASA's annual exploration budget was roughly $3.8 billion. Meanwhile, NOAA, which stands for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, some of you may have heard about them, only received about $23.7 million. That's rather strange, isn't it? Why are we spending so much more money on space research when we know that ocean exploration is just as expensive? Hollywood director James Cameron, who directed mega blockbusters such as Titanic, proved this because his dive for his project cost approximately $8 million. Unlocking deep sea mysteries may reveal new sources for drugs, food, or medicine. So why should we bother terraforming other planets when we can be discovering so many living creatures in our very own? There are 91% of marine organisms that nobody knows about. What if one day these creatures extinct without us even learning about them? In today's world, many of the new drugs that are going to help humans actually come from the sea. One of the examples is something called prostaglandin, which comes from sea fans, and that fights cancer. Another one is something called bryostatin, which comes from coral rhizomes, and that also fights cancer. See, there are so many things about the ocean we don't know yet that could potentially help us in the future. Now, let us move on to the stereotypes of both these exploration in the media. Ladies and gentlemen, most of the time, space stories are positively framed, unlike ocean stories. We all know that science fiction is a very well-known genre when it comes to both ocean and space, be it in movies, documentaries, or even novels. However, all of our movies in the ocean consist of sharks, natural disasters, sharks, more fishes, and more sharks. Because of the uncertainty that we have on the ocean, we use that 5% of what we know and in our movies, and it shows. Ladies and gentlemen, is that the only thing we know? Space stories excite the viewers, meanwhile, ocean stories are just too frightening. Space stories excite the whole world even in ways that ocean movies never has. Just think about stories like Interstellar, Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy. Space is dominating sci-fi movies. But when it comes to the ocean, we have Titanic, Jaws, The Meg, and that's about it. Most of them are showing a horrifying image of the ocean. Just look at both these posters. What differences do you see? Here we have the Meg is trying to eat the human, which is something that's very unlikely to happen. The chances for you to get eaten by a shark or bitten by a shark is very low. On the other hand, here we have various characters, which kind of indicates there might be some kind of new adventure that they're going to encounter. See, these kind of portrayals are crucial because they shape how viewers see ocean and space. Instead of showing a horrifying image, instead of showing natural disasters of the ocean, we should be revealing more beauty and life so the public can see that the ocean is not all terrifying and actually quite remarkable. Animals such as fishes, penguins, jellyfish, or even narwhals. Did you know that narwhals are actually a species of whales? And they have tusks in front of their heads. To me, it's kind of like our own version of a unicorn. Not a lot of people know this because this is not something that we see in movies. It's not something that we see in documentaries. So I believe it's very important for us to reveal more of these kind of animals to the public so people can be inspired to look at the ocean. And for the first time in humanity, instead of always looking up, we should be looking down and embracing whatever that we have inside our ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, NASA Mars journey versus James Cameron journey to the Mariana Trench. Let's be honest here. Which one of these two actually you've heard about? I'm quite certain that 8 out of 10 people would probably have heard about the Mars Curiosity rover that landed on Mars. On 2012, NASA Mars journey makes the front page of the newspaper. But did you know that on that same year did James Cameron travel down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? And as I stated earlier, only 3 people in history have been down to the Mariana Trench, and one of them is a movie director. See, if a movie director is able to do something like this, then what about us? What about scientists, researchers? What about biologists and oceanographers? We have the technology, we have the capabilities of doing this, but all that we are lacking is passion and determination to actually carry out ocean exploration. Ladies and gentlemen, embracing ocean exploration can only be done if the public are open to realize that this is an important matter. In Mark Delio's words, once they care, they are open to change, and they are open to how we are able to help. Ladies and gentlemen, ocean exploration requires more research funding. Foundations such as the National Science Funding are crucial because they are able to bring researchers and scientists to collect the data that they need in the field. So the NSF provides research vessels such as deep sea submersibles, underwater laboratories, and stations to collect samples. Can you imagine a scientist or a biologist can literally conduct an experiment underwater in their underwater laboratories? That is quite amazing. Thanks to the investment of NSF and their technology, these scientists, these researchers are able to explore the ocean and benefit them to mankind and give some kind of benefit to mankind. What we can conclude is that engaging the public to be aware and interested in ocean exploration is the first step for change, because then policymakers and organizations will definitely fund more research. The ocean bears living organisms that we depend on to survive, while space, however important it may be, we may never be able to find living creatures and benefit from them. I'm not disagreeing with space research, but my point is that we should invest our time, our money, and our effort, our energy towards ocean exploration just as much as space research, because it is going to benefit us as humans as well. I am positive that we all can be inspired to look down beneath the sea as much as we are amazed by what we see up in the starry night sky. Thus, let us join forces and make sure that we will change the stigma and embrace ocean exploration so that everyone in the world can enjoy the beauty of a vast ocean that's on our very own Earth. Thank you.